I wanted to ask you what your view is on the Maximus DAO perp pools, specifically because Deci, which is the 10-year stake, has the greatest dichotomy between the price of the Deci token and PHEX. Last I checked, there was a 60% price difference. So Deci has to pump 60% to reach parity. Last I measured, but slightly different now, maybe to reach parity with PHEX. What do you think about those perp pools?
Yeah, so so like at the end of the stake, they mature and you get back the hex back by it, right? It's like
So yeah. So my understanding is that, again, it was like a pooled stake. There was like a window time where people could send hex to the smart contract, gets pulled all at once. Once the stake expires, there's like a window, whether it's like 40 hours or a week or something, where you can deposit your Deci in the smart contract and
you get the
receive
hex.
your principal plus your interest. And then once that window closes, whatever's left gets rolled into another 10-year stake if it's Deci, but if it's base, it's a 1 year. If it's Trio, it's a 3 year, that kind of thing.
Yeah, so I think here's there's good and there's bad. The good is you could buy it at a discount now. The good is that it's completely backed by hex, and the good is also that you're not locked up and you could sell it early.
And you're getting t-shirts from back in the day as well, from 8-10 months ago.
Yeah, correct. But the bad is that it's not locked up and you could sell early. So I think the reason why you had such a community of like truck drivers, like average people, blue collar people that just became millionaires overnight was because they didn't sell early because of the time lock. So that's not present in Deci. But it's definitely something you could implement. I think you need native. I would argue it's better to have majority native. But you definitely could implement the Deci and Maxi and those HSIs into your strategy. Definitely, I definitely think it's something to implement.
Do you ever see like, even just like spitballing here, just like, do you ever see that that dichotomy closing? Because like I was kind of asking people on Twitter, like, why is there a 60% premium on the risk? Because I suppose there's smart contract risk. There's risk of like people front running the hex unstaking. There's risk of hex not being valuable 10 years from now, potentially. But so like there is risk, and I can understand a premium on the risk. But 60%. If this thing ever reaches parity, you get 60% more hex. And that's just parity. What if we get a premium? What if, and here's something I've been considering, what if when the base pool expires, which is just the 1 year one, it expires this October. What if it works? What if it pays the interest plus the principal plus the interest, and maybe the market becomes more confident in the smart contract? What if we get parity? What if we get a premium? So for me, I actually sold half my liquid PHEX for Deci. What's your take on all that? I mentioned a couple of things.
I think that I think that yes, it's going to have to balance out. I mean, that's just the way it works, right? There's arbitrage. It's not EXP hex. Like, this thing is actually backed by real hex. You will be able to unwrap it. So like, especially as it gets closer to maturity, and it's going to get closer to parity with its value of hex, because people, if you got to be an idiot if a month from now you could redeem all that Deci for hex and you don't buy
plus
it.
interest.
So but for now, it's like it's. I mean, since it's 10 years away, I mean, a lot of people that buy hex are not thinking about staking and stuff like that, and they just want to hold it liquid. And there's no guarantee that your liquid Deci will be the same. Will have the same returns. So I mean, the overall thing is, yes, it will reach parity. But that's going to be as it gets closer to the maturity, probably. But it may happen earlier. It may go to a premium, especially during the bull market, because there's just so much more money coming in.
Maybe that's what it takes, yeah.
Yeah, so it could go to a premium. But yes, unlike EHEX, PHEX, Deci and HSIs are actually backed by hex. When maturity comes, you will get the hex. So there is arbitrage opportunity, definitely.
Yeah, yeah, man. And there's risk. But if it works out, man, getting six, because I bought that dip, man. And if I can get, I understand the risk premium, but if it's fucking parity, man, I'm getting 60% more on my hex. Plus that massive, I think it was one of the biggest 10-year stakes, bigger pays better bonus, the
Yeah, you get the
t-shirts
better.
from eight, 10
Yeah,
months
yeah.
ago. So there's risk, but there's also reward. And it's kind of an
Right.
open question whether we get that parity, if it even comes, when, all this
But if
stuff.
you don't get the
Yeah.
parity, you just unlock it after 10 years. You
And
know,
get
so
the interest plus the principal.
I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
or you be not, or you paper hand and you sell it for whatever it's worth.
I suppose. Yeah.